Hi, I'm Antonio Centeno. I'm the founder of Real Men, Real Style. Today, I'm going to probably recommend something that I think most of you guys already know about, but I want you to go check out The Art of Manliness. Now, if you haven't heard of this website, you need to get out from whatever rock you've been under. But I've been riding with Brett and Kate over at The Art of Manliness since I think it was early 2008. And this is when I first started becoming an entrepreneur. Now, I'm going to tell the story of how we met and how we've continued to work together over the last, 7 years. And I'll tell you a little bit more about the future of what we've got planned. But I want to give you three reasons right off the bat why Art of Manliness should be bookmarked and should be a website that you're going to a couple times a week at least be on their RSS feed. But number one is the quality content. So the story is Brett was at a store and he's looking at a magazine, all these men's magazines, and he's like, none of this is really that great. It's telling me how to get six-pack abs. It's trying to explain to me, what life means in about 500 words. And it's a complete, this isn't great material. So he started to create the magazine, which he would have wanted to read. And I can tell you, having been a writer and having written over, close to 100 articles over at The Art of Manliness, my articles over there are detailed, well-researched, and long. I'm talking 2,000 to 3,000 words, which I guess online is long, but compared to a book is relatively short. The point is the information they put out there is solid. It's going to, in many cases, really challenge the way you think, open up your mind. And that's the beautiful thing about when you read a blog or a book or a website that has information that really forces you to rethink and opens up your mind to new ideas. And that's what I love about The Art of Manliness. Well-researched. And when he doesn't know something, he brings in experts. That's why he brought in me. He's brought in Darren, a canoe expert here in Wisconsin. He's brought in, fitness experts, finance experts, men that know, Creek, this guy's a survival expert. So if the zombie apocalypse hits, they've got, how you can put together a shotgun and have a survival shotgun. Or a bug out bag. Pretty cool stuff. I wouldn't know this information, so Brett brings in experts or him and his wife do the research to create quality content. So point number two is they've got a worthwhile goal. So the goal of The Art of Manliness isn't just to make money or to provide a healthy living. Brett's goal with that was to help men become better men, help fathers become better fathers, sons become better sons, brothers become better brothers. And I can buy into that. In fact, when I first signed up, it was that meaning. It was understanding that I was writing for something that had a bigger purpose as to why I still write for AOM. So the third point, the YouTube channel. Solid YouTube channel. I think it was a couple of years ago, Brett saw what I was doing on YouTube and he said, hey, Tony, pretty good job with that. And so I told him a couple things. Next thing I know, he brought in a gentleman who's helping him out with all of the editing, and they started producing a video every week. Now I think they're producing a few more. They have got an amazing YouTube channel now. I think they've passed my numbers. So go check out his YouTube channel. He covers a wide range of items from, how to use kettlebells to, jujitsu to how to start, how to cook meat. Amazing channel. I know I'm a subscriber. You should go check it out as well. Okay, so I promised you guys a little bit of the backstory. So Brett approached me. I remember I had a blog over at A Tailored Suit, and I see some guy in the comments, and he's saying, hey, my name's Brett. I'm over at The Art of Manliness. We just started up. Would you like to come write for me as the style blogger? And checked out the website. I liked their mission. Now, at the time, The Art of Manliness maybe had, a couple dozen articles. Not much on it, but it seemed like it was, I just liked it. And I started writing for them 2 articles a month. It eventually wound down to about 1 article a month. Now I'm doing about 1 article every 2 months. I would have to say, though, I've consistently written for them, and over the last 8 years, it has been amazing to watch their traffic numbers go up. I think he's getting like 500,000 visitors a day. And that's not because they're doing anything crazy or they're tricking you into clicking on their website. It's because they have useful content. And I've learned a lot from watching them grow. And in fact, Real Men, Real Style, a lot of the reasons that I focus on good quality content is I realize that you don't need another website that talks about something in 200, 300 words and is basically clickbait. I realize that you want something that answers your questions and provides value. And so I've learned a lot of that from the Art of Manliness. And I'm proud that Brett is coming out to Men's StyleCon May 1st through 3rd. He doesn't do a whole lot of conferences. In fact, he does pretty much no conferences. But he's going to come out to my conference because he's my friend and I asked him. And this may be, if you've ever wanted to meet and shake hands with Brett McKay of the Art of Manliness, this is going to be your biggest opportunity to do that, because we're only going to have about 500 people at this conference. It's not going to be super big. And in fact, that's 500 people total. So at any one day, we're maybe going to have 200 to 300 people there. And that is going to be an easy way for you to go in there, shake his hand and say, Brett, thank you for making a difference. I'm going to be there. Aaron Marino's going to be there. We're going to have Kyle over at The Distilled Man, Ryan Masters over at Sparta Strength, Baron over at The Effortless Gent, Andy over at Primer Magazine. Guys, a wide range of people. I would love for you to come out and to meet us in person. And that's about it. See you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.